Hello, Philo 1. This is Dr. Timothy Elizondo here for my pilot episode number 1 of Tim Tries to Construct a Philosophy Outline in 15 minutes a day or less. So let me set my timer here for 14 minutes. And yeah, I think the object of this particular project is to try to construct a philosophy outline that I can use in class and to show people and to, I don't know, but also show students how I would approach this particular assignment. So with that in mind, the object of this particular game is to construct an outline that I can submit to a philosophy professor that shows my response to one of the exam prompts. And it demonstrates my response from the exam prompts in such a way that I don't have to even be in the room. Right? The paper does it by itself, right? And communicates to this professor exactly what the ideas are, what evidence I'm using, how I'm analyzing the evidence, right? The sequence of ideas. Now you might say, well, Tim, that sounds like an essay. And I say, it's really, really similar to an essay, but an essay is constructed like a piece of prose, oftentimes having transitions and more elaborate word choice at times. An outline is more of the content, right? And also the structure with less sizzle added to the steak. So the object here is to construct an outline that meets those objectives so that my professor can give me the double thumbs up, and then I can take the outline and turn that into a paper, right? So I'm practicing this in a philosophy class, but I'm hopefully going to be using this skill in other courses throughout the rest of my educational career. Right? Okay, so with that in mind, I turned my attention towards a Microsoft Word document, and what I did was I just took the prompt and I broke it up. Just to kind of separate it out to see if I was seeing everything, and then in addition, I just kind of added this, because to me it seems like the prompt is asking me to kind of compare philosophy versus vocational, but I don't know if that's the word. Maybe it's like non-philosophy? I don't know. I don't know yet. That's why I have a question mark there. And then it seems here I have to support or refute my position utilizing the ideas and contributions found in the course reading. So that's just reminding me that I got to use the book. I can't use some sweet, website that I found or perhaps this other book, but I got to kind of use the course readings as the primary material for me to be making these particular arguments. Okay, so, and these are kind of just questions that I had right off the bat, like, what is philosophy? What does it help us do? What's, like, non-philosophy? And then in addition, like, how do I make that determination? Like how do I choose? What's the criteria for which I choose? Right? Because if my parents were around, they'd probably say, like, well, money is the criteria, so which is going to lead you the most amount of money? Like, okay, right, that could be it. My friend, if he was around, he'd probably be like, fun, dude, it's all about fun. Like, which decisions are like with fun? I'm like, okay. So I think I need to come up with some sort of decision-making kind of criteria as the essay unfolds. Right? I think so. All right, and ultimately what I'm looking to do when I can kind of start filling stuff out is eventually to have an outline where I'm going to have an introduction, I'm going to have a thesis in here somewhere, right? So I could even, like, I don't know, start making Roman numerals to make it all awesome looking. Not that I have to, right? This is going to be like the body is going to be there. It's going to have some points. Does that make sense? So, all right. Oops. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go through the course readings. And I'm going to just start looking for information as I'm reading that kind of meets two criteria. First, I want to find it connected to the exam prompt. Right? So if I'm like, okay, if this is about like what philosophy is, then I'm going to draw it in. In addition, if it also maybe like helps me think about like what is the purpose of how we make decisions, I might want to bring it in. Okay. Ideally, I've never really worked with a lot of PDF files on screens. That's what I'm working with this particular semester. I like using books I like highlighting things, but whatever. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for quotations, and as soon as I find a quotation, I'm going to highlight it. I might, I don't know, circle it. I might make it with ink, but that's probably what I'm going to try to do. And I'm going to read the material and skim it, and I'm going to be looking for things that just kind of speak to me. All right, so as I was kind of looking at this one, we have this like, what is philosophy? All right, so I got right here, my favorite answer to philosophy is the rational except for science. Um, yeah, rational inference except for science. All right, and let's say I like that particular quotation. It was on page 5. All right, I'm going to put that right here. I'm not going to format it a little bit differently. Paste. And that is it Wayne? What's his name? I think it's Russ. I'm just going to say Russ. Yeah, it's W. Russ, page 5. And it seems like this would be how is philosophy defined. Yeah, because I think that we need to start with that. Exactly like how is philosophy defined? And then also, I think we got categories of Philo that are going to come up. We're going to get ethics. We're going to get metaphysics. We're going to get epistemology. Yeah, that's pretty important. All right, so I'm going to put that there. All right, epistemology. Okay, so that I really liked. What else did I pull out? And then I started looking at like the value of philosophy, and I particularly liked this quotation, right? And I think this is actually like 2 parts, but it's the idea of the blanket paradox, right? So what is vocational? And I liked that. Maybe I need like another like. I'm gonna put evidence I like, but don't know where it goes yet. And it's that. I'm going to put that there, that we're just prone. That is page 8. Oh, one of the wars full of hazards. Yeah. Oh, American blah blah transvestites downstream. Okay. I mean, really, I think I kind of like all of that. It's a long quotation. It's a super long quotation. I don't want to use all that in my paper, but I like that for right now. All right, I'm going to find that quotation. Yep. And then he goes to Bertrand Russell. Yep, I like that. And he's actually citing Russell. Russ cites Russell. Lucid Griff went uncritically. Lucid Griff. All right, and so, and copying this, I know, super exciting. I'm being super quiet. All right, so, so I'm citing this here, and now we've got Russell saying that the primary value of philosophy according to Russell is that the lucid and uncritically held opinion. It opens the mind to the liberating range of new possibilities to explore. All right, so it opens your mind and it liberates you. That seems like that matters. So what is vocational? How do you compare them? How criteria? How do I determine if Philo is better? All right, so maybe I need another question. What is at stake? Well, I now have this. that if it's the security blanket argument, that's where it goes. Copy. I'm just going to shove that right there for now. All right. Take that out. So let's see. Now what do I do? All right, I've got 3 more minutes. All right. So can we just use oh, there we go. Now I can go to, I can click that and I can, block that for later. I can use that particular website because he takes us right there. All right, so then here now we're getting into chapter 2. It seems like that there's truth, that truth is relative to meaning. So what is at stake? This would be, call this blanket paradox. All that falls underneath this idea that there's a blanket paradox. And then I think I'm just going to kind of overview that chapter 2 tells us that, actually, let me put that someplace else. What is philosophy defined? Categories of, can we put that here for now? Chapter 2 links Philo to truth, right? Truth on page 12. What else have we got? It's going to be quick. Meaning, right, on page 13. Where else? Argumentation. 14, and then, I mean, alternately, it's going to like thinking. Right. Okay, so then what else can I pull out? Inductive strength, critical thinking, fallacies, right? Tricked by faulty logic, bandwagon, or I might even want to use real world example. Maybe I'll put that in there. Don't know. Okay, so what does philosophy help us do? How's philosophy defined? So then that question kind of becomes answered. I don't know if I need how is philosophy defined. But instead, it's philosophy is where it says it's that. The other guy, how does he says? It's this. Is it the study of wisdom? Is that it? I think that's how he phrases it. Think so. I think so. And Rahu would also say helps distinguish between theology and myth. So he uses, I think it's myth. All right, so I think that is all the time that I have for today. So here's the big idea. I think the big idea really is to start going through the course readings and pulling out the information that you think is going to be useful that you can use as the basis of your argument. I think too many times students try to come up with their own ideas and then they go back and they cherry pick from the evidence. My suggestions go the other direction. It's going to be much more useful and helpful as you move forward. All right, so I will see you around in episode 2. All right, bye everybody.